people. So then you said that they put millions of money. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. That's right. They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So then you said that they put millions of money. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. That's right. One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. 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 I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacles set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never a home, only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe the slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting, the trail of my tears is countless. The fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles will make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be, slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cages, safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash, get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now. You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. 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 Look, ain't no remorse in my blood slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in his body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is served cold, I just hope they make an oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear got that new car smell. Made myself a target in the world of mad shooters. There was design 5 for our babies to pass through in the day of our king's reign. I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums. Someday you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
I just wanna see my enemies fall. Yeah. Hey, look, I just wanna bow. So my niggas stand proud, cause we about to go and get it out. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Look at them 20s where they crawl. I've been praying that my enemies fall. Nigga, I just wanna bow. And I hope you bow too. And that be why I gotta keep it true. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Hey. Just give me what I'm due. Let my enemies see the living proof, Lord. I just want to pop. Trying to build my own city, homie. Enough room to put my niggas on it. Just start a couple business on it. Fuck any heathen, never shitting on me. Yeah. Public housing we done lived through. Trying to put that in my real view. Gold rolls, what I still do. I can see the picture with a clear view. Gotta separate the snakes and all you fuck niggas that's gon' hate. Daily pray to God I don't catch another case. But that's a small risk that I feel I gotta take. Only certain niggas, they gon' feel this. Still deliver verses on that real shit. If I get a couple million, I'ma bust this shit down with these children. I just wanna bow. Told my niggas stand tall, cause we about to go and get it out. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Look at them 20s where they crawl. I've been praying that my enemies fall. Nigga, I just wanna bow. And I hope you bow too. And that be why I gotta keep it true. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Just give me what I'm due. Let my enemies see the living proof, Lord. I just wanna bow. Get up out of bounds, homie. Got killers with them rounds on them. Look like I'm dead in front of drum. Look, don't make me make the reaper rain down on them. I can give a fuck if you rock blue. And I was Suwu from the Fruittown crew. Cops still shoot us every time we move. They hate you, nigga, like they hate me too. Just know that brotherhood is a weapon. Build another zone, get protected. Too many sisters in the city been molested. Now I'm stacking soldiers off the block like it's Tetris. Woo. Know that truth, it give you chills, don't it? Steady ringing in your ears, won't it? If I'm blessed to make a meal, I'ma bust that shit down with my real homies. I just wanna bow. Told my niggas stand tall, cause we about to go and get it out. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Look at them 20s where they crawl. I've been praying that my enemies fall. Nigga, I just wanna bow. And I hope you bow too. And that be why I gotta keep it true. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Just give me what I'm due. Let my enemies see the living proof, Lord. I just wanna bow. Hey. Yeah. To all them children, you grew up with parents strung out on drugs. Yeah. I just wanna bow. Hope you do too. And I hope you do too. Yeah. Man, to the brother that had a rib and she left him for whatever reason. Yeah. I just wanna bow. I hope you do too. And to the sister, you know what I'm saying, that had that nigga leave her. Yeah. Nigga, I just wanna bow. So my niggas is locked up. I hope you do too. Man, I hope you niggas see the light of day. Yeah, I just wanna bow. Yeah, I just wanna bow.
Most High Christ. Clap it up, clap it up. Let's get it in, let's get it in. Welcome to another episode of Ask Ye the Prophets. I'm Priest and General Mayaka Allah, rolling with my man, of course. Y'all know Officer Ibad, hold it down, coming through. You know what I'm saying? Ibad Hayah. And a special guest back in the fold, Police Officer Yedaya in the house today, man. You know what I'm saying? Gonna bring up a few things. So again, y'all send y'all questions in to Ask Ye the Prophets at gmail.com, or y'all could go to the Ask Ye the Prophets page, Ask Ye the Prophets page on Facebook, or send your questions in during the show. Lord willing, we get to them. If not, during that show, during the following show. So of course we got to go into this old Halloween that just passed. You understand? We got to go into, and let me see. This is the story, Ibad Slaki. I'm looking down. Let's go into this first story. I'm going to go first. I'm going to bring out a little history on Halloween. We just passed it. It was just this Monday where the world, the heathen world and Israel world that followed the heathen, of course, was celebrating this Halloween. You understand? Halloween is an old, ancient, pagan, and satanic holiday. And I'm going to bring up a brief history, try to go into it briefly, and then remind everybody, which the Lord remind everybody, that he does not like these holidays. He doesn't stand behind them, and it is very evil, and he allows evil to happen on these holidays because they are not his holidays. You understand? And of course, the Lord say in the Bible, I hate your feast days, meaning he don't respect or accept any holidays that man makes. He gives his chosen, his Israelites, of course, he gives us special holidays and things to celebrate in commemoration for great and wonderful things that he has done for us, and great and wonderful things that have happened on the earth concerning us. You understand that any other holidays made by heathens, and heathens are the definition of heathen is anyone that's not part of the 12 tribes of Israel. You understand?
Right.
Like Jewish people, for instance, Jewish people, they are not part of the 12 tribes of Israel.
Right.
They would say what I'm saying right now is anti-Semitic, but what I'm saying right now is actually fact. They are not part of the 12 tribes of Israel. Jewish people are considered heathens according to the Bible, according to God. They are considered pagans. They are considered non-Israelites, Jewish people. You understand? So I start. Let's get that. The history of the of Halloween. Let's read some of that.
Halloween is a holiday each year on October 31st, and Halloween 2022 will occur on Monday, October 31st.
Right. So Monday, October 31st is what it's nationally known for right now. Go ahead.
The tradition originated with the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain.
And it originally started with the Celts, the Celtics. It was a Celtic festival, and it was called Samhain. Go ahead. And the Celtic people are, if you look back to Irish people and Scottish people, them Edomites that wear the dresses, those parts of the land, those are the Celtic lands, and those where the Celts used to dwell. There, they used to also, through 2,000 years ago, used to dwell in the UK. You understand? Go ahead, read.
Okay. When people would light bonfires and wear costumes to ward off ghosts.
And they would light bonfires, and wear costumes, to ward off spirits, to ward off the undead. And this is why. Read.
In the 8th century, Pope Gregory III designated November 1st as a time to honor all saints.
Mm-hmm.
Soon, All Saints Day incorporated some of the traditions of Samhain.
Right, they had All Saints. You understand that this is the Catholics and the popes and whatnot. They had All Saints Day, and then they eventually merged it. They merged All Saints Day with Samhain, and the reason why they lit bonfires and dressed up in costumes because they believed that during the night before November 1st, they believe October 31st, November 1st was like the end of summer, the beginning of the cold and dark winter. And they believed that during this time, there was a door that opened that merged the dead with the undead. You understand? The living and the dead would come together, meaning dead spirits would come through this portal or whatever, would just be walking amongst the living. And so they were afraid. They were superstitious. And so they wouldn't get hurt by these spirits because they believed a lot of these spirits were evil spirits and they would do harm. So they dressed up as spirits, as monsters, to back these other spirits up to protect them, in essence, from these spirits that they thought might hurt them. This is what they believe. So, and of course, like heathens do, one group of heathen will take the traditions of another group of heathens and merge it with their traditions. So that's what happened with All Saints Day. It was incorporated and merged with the traditions of Samhain. Go ahead. And it said the evening before was known as what?
The evening before was known as All Hallows Eve.
All Hallows Eve. So to merge with All Saints Day in Samhain, which Hallows Eve means, hallow is like holy, Eve is like nighttime. So this is their holy night. Read.
And later, Halloween,
which it comes from Hallows Eve, holy night. Go ahead.
Over time, Halloween evolved into a day of activities like trick or treating, carving jack-o'-lanterns, festive gatherings, donning costumes, and eating treats.
Go ahead. So it became, they tried to make it fun for the kids and involve the kids. This whole celebration and this holiday, this custom, this feast or festivity, they tried to make it a family thing. Go ahead.
Kawakawa. Ancient origins of Halloween. Halloween's origins date back to the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain. The Celts, who lived 2,000.
Pronounced Samhain. I'm pronouncing wrong. Samhain is actually pronounced Samhain. Go ahead.
The Celts, who lived 2,000 years ago, mostly in the area that is now Ireland, the United Kingdom, and northern France, celebrated their New Year on November 1st.
So according to them, the New Year was November 1st. Go ahead.
The day marked the end of summer and the harvest and the beginning of the dark, cold winter, a time of year that was often associated with human death.
Right. So it was always associated with human death. Go ahead, because again, and they believe these spirits came and killed these people. It was summer was over. Now it was the cold winter, dark, and they believe during this time that spirits was out to kill people. Go ahead.
Celts believe that on the night before the New Year, the boundary between the worlds of the living and the dead became blurred. On the night of October 31st, they celebrated Samhain, when it was believed that the ghosts of the dead returned to earth.
Go ahead.
In addition to causing trouble and damaging crops.
So they thought these spirits that came back mess up their crops, mess up their money. Go ahead.
Celts thought that the presence of the otherworldly spirits made it easier for the Druids or Celtic priests to make predictions about the future.
Go ahead.
For a people entirely dependent on a volatile natural world.
I'm gonna skip down. Skip down a few paragraphs to by AD 43.
By AD 43, the Roman Empire had conquered the majority of Celtic territory. In the course of 400 years that they ruled the Celtic lands, two festivals of Roman origin were combined with the traditional Celtic celebration of Samhain.
So the Romans even incorporated Samhain, you know what I'm saying? And the Celtic celebration, you know what I mean? And this is because the Romans, of course, they ruled during that time. They took over the Celts and all that. They conquered a lot of people, man. Even conquered the land of Israel. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. That's when Christ was born, the Romans were in charge. Conquered the Greeks. Go ahead.
The first was Feralia, a day in late October when the Romans traditionally commemorated the passing of the dead. The second was a day to honor Pomona, the Roman goddess of fruit and trees.
Right, so they worshiped their Roman gods. They brought them on in. Pomona was a Roman goddess of fruit and trees. Go ahead.
The symbol of Pomona is the apple.
Right.
And the incorporation of this celebration into Samhain probably explains the tradition of bobbing for apples that is practiced today on Halloween.
And it's not probably, that's where it comes from. Bobbing for apples come from this goddess of fruit and trees. And once again, her symbol is the apple. Let me just go down. So that's all we need on the history. So basically, Halloween is an old Celtic tradition. It used to be called Samhain, which throughout time, different heathens incorporated it into their customs, into their pagan worships and whatnot. And now, after all this time, now you got the Romans, and then America, of course. America came and they incorporated other things, and now it's a whole bunch of things you do during Samhain now. It's called Halloween, and you send your kids out. You teach them all year, don't talk to strangers, don't trust strangers. Then on this night, for some reason, you happen to send them out to ask strangers for candy. You understand? And ask them, strangers for chocolates and different things. It's a satanic holiday. Nobody is to let their kids celebrate Halloween. You understand? We're not to dress up as goblins and ghouls for Halloween. It is not It is a pagan, satanic holiday. It is not the customs or traditions of Israelites, and we are not to do it. You understand? So let's read me the title. Read me the title of that first thing. Matter of fact, go to I sent you the story of South Korea, right? Read a little bit of that, then I'm gonna play the video.
Getting it, sir.
No sweat, no sweat. Shalom to everybody for tuning in. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Brakathum, Yahweh Shemal Thun Bashem Yahweh Shah. So we're gonna get that real quick. I'm gonna play the video.
I got it, sir.
You got it. Go ahead, you can read some of it.
South Korea searches for answers after Halloween festivities leave 151 dead.
Like even the South Koreans, those heathens. You understand? They know they don't give a damn. You know, they got their own stuff they dealing with, but everybody kisses the behind of America, man. Everybody kisses the behind of the so-called white man. So now in South Korea, they want to do what white people do because white people done taught the world that the things that they do is what you're supposed to do. If you want to be respected by anybody, you got to do what Edomites do. And so here goes South Korea trying to celebrate Halloween and do what white people do. And now, you know, this is what happens when you celebrate Halloween. Read.
South Korea is searching for answers after Halloween celebrations in the capital, Seoul, turned into one of the country's worst disasters.
Good. I'm going to play the video I bought, all right?
All
right. Here we go.
Tonight, South Koreans are dealing with the aftermath of the country's worst disaster in years. At least 151 people are dead and more than 80 others are injured after being crushed by a crowd. This happened during Halloween celebrations in Seoul.
Yeah, Chris Wolf joining us live from Koreatown now with reaction from community members tonight. Chris?
That's right, Rick and Kareen. Such a tragic story. Tonight, I spoke with people here in Koreatown who have very strong ties to South Korea, even family and friends over there.
We're going to have a drink.
They have not been able to reach.
Because the Mossad shows he's not with these holidays.
An evening that started in celebration ended in chaos and horror in the South Korean capital of Seoul.
Be a time of fun, right?
Tens of thousands of people packed a popular part of town called Itaewon, known for its vibrant nightlife with bars, restaurants, and clubs. They were celebrating Halloween in the area, which is also a hotspot for tourists. But something caused part of the massive crowd to surge into a tight space, an alley, and during the frenzy, dozens and dozens of people succumbed to the suffocating crush.
Like they crushed each other to death,
to
man.
make matters worse,
in a frenzy on this
evil
holiday.
Witnesses say people at the top of the slope started tumbling down onto others below. It's unclear
people
what
on the hill start falling down onto other people.
But South Korean media are reporting a large crowd had rushed to a hotel or club after hearing a celebrity was there. Shockwaves are striking the world, including Southern California and Koreatown.
The numbers started climbing, and I had no idea what was unfolding, whether it was a mass shooting.
Steve Kang works with the Korean Youth and Community Center. Most of those killed in the catastrophe in South Korea were teenagers and young adults. Kang explains crowds were especially large this year as South Korean government officials lifted COVID restrictions.
Seoul is a city of 10 million people, and many of the young people thought this was the first major public open space party that they could really enjoy. And I feel, unfortunately, that that contributed to this factor.
I do have some family and some friends. I reached out to most of them. I haven't heard back from all of them, but the ones that I've heard from are safe, thankfully. It's really just heart-wrenching to think that, you know, so much life could be lost and so much potential.
It really does hit home. Yeah. Just number of people there is just not safe. So government really needs to step in and have some type of crop.
All right. That's it on that. Like the Lord came through there, man. The Lord came through Seoul in Southern Korea, man, and showed how he feel about Halloween. And our people don't, and our people see that, and we still send our kids out. You understand? Somebody posed a question online: why do you send your kids out to ask candy for strangers when all year you teach them, about stranger danger and to stay away from strangers? And of course the people got to fight against it. We like Halloween, we celebrate it. Maybe we do it because the parents are there, and the pedophiles can't act, when the parents are there, and this and this and this and this. But that don't stop the injections of something to make your kids sick in the apple. That don't stop the tainting of the candy that's on these people that's full of demons. You understand? That don't stop that. You understand? When you get home and you're inspecting your candy, well, at least I heard some people try to inspect those stuff and find razors in the goddamn apple, a razor blade tucked away nicely in the apple or in the chocolate somewhere. You understand? That don't stop none of that. You understand? This is an evil satanic thing you're doing, and the Lord is not with it. And when the Lord ain't with it, all type of things happen. You understand? Let's read some of the titles of what happened during this Halloween, Ibad.
Karukan.
You got the South Korea, where they say at least 151 dead, not to mention all the ones that was injured in this crowd crush. It's like a stampede, man. You get ran over by all the people. They say they thought they bunched up in this one area because they thought they saw a celebrity. Starstruck Asians bunched up together and then just start killing each other. Same thing happened with the Arabs, when they surround that damn rock, circle that rock 7 years. It'd be so many of them that a lot of people die getting crushed. You understand? Because there's so many people there. You understand? Celebrating heathen gods. Go ahead.
U.S. Halloween night shootings kill 1, injure about 20.
So this happened in Kansas City and in Chicago. Another Halloween night shooting killed somebody and injured 20. Read the next one.
Karukan. Teen killed at Halloween party was Bloomingdale high school student. Shooter at large.
Right, and this was I think Bloomingdale. I think it was Florida, I believe. I think this high school is in Florida, where a teen was killed at a Halloween party. Read the next one.
Halloween night shootings leave 3 people dead in Philly.
In Philly, 3 people lost their lives to a Halloween murder. Go ahead. Next.
Ultra violent pre-Halloween weekend leaves 8 dead in Metro Denver.
So in Denver, 8 people got killed at some ultraviolet pre-Halloween weekend. I don't get that. I might know what the hell an ultraviolet pre-Halloween party is. I don't know what the hell that is. Y'all know what that is?
It sounds like they was getting it in.
Yeah, it sounds pretty gay. Sounds gay. Ultraviolet pre-Halloween weekend. Next.
29-year-old Flint woman killed in Halloween shooting, police said.
In Flint, Michigan, a woman got murdered. Go ahead. Halloween shooting. Go ahead.
Waterbury man killed in shooting on Halloween.
Another Halloween murder happened in Connecticut. That's where Waterbury is. A man was killed. Go ahead.
Families of 2 men shot, killed at Halloween party in Covina. Speak out.
No sweat. In Covina, I think Covina is in California. You got killed. Halloween murders. Go ahead.
16-year-old boy killed in North Raleigh. Halloween or Raleigh. Halloween shooting that injured 2 others.
So in Raleigh, North Carolina, a young boy gets murdered, and 2 others got hurt in the shooting. Go ahead. Next.
Slowly, sir. Slocky. Man shot to death outside Southeast Houston. Convenience store, early Halloween morning, police say.
Early on Halloween, a man got murdered in Houston. And bring out about the rapper, the Migos cat, Yedaya?
Yeah, Conor McCon. Also, too, late, early Tuesday morning, late Halloween night, the Migos, Quavo and Takeoff were at this bowling alley at this Halloween party, that turned violent over a dice game. And what's heavy about that, sir, I thought about, us being in Houston. The brothers shoot dice, we go out to the club, we have a good time. But because we keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, doing what the Lord said to do, we protected from stuff like this. You got and if I may, sir, it's a damn shame too that this is the lesson that the Lord has to show us, that we shouldn't be celebrating Halloween, shouldn't be celebrating Thanksgiving and Christmas, because every Halloween, every holiday season, more death just befalls Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, because we just want to have our babies pass through the fire. So that's all I wanted to say.
Con. What's his name? Takeoff, was it?
Conor McCon, Takeoff.
So and he was with Quavo. Is that Cardi B's man?
Quavo was his uncle. Offset is Cardi B's man.
All right, Offset. Okay, no sweat. And that's so Takeoff is one of the three, right?
Conor McCon.
So they done lost a big part of their 1/3 of their damn group, man. Hanging out and being all involved in Halloween. Like Officer Yedaya said, we just came from Houston, man. We had a good time. We went to clubs like a couple of different nights, clubs and karaoke's, and hell, we do our thing, man. But once again, like Yedaya brought out, our God, he controls life or death. He controls pain. He controls pleasure. He controls it all. And we work for him. We're his prophets. So when we go about this earth doing the things we do, we are totally protected, man. There's angels all around us with swords and weapons that, these earthly weapons can't touch. You understand? So we fully protected, man. Like the Lord say, you obey him and do what he want. You know what I'm saying? He'll become an enemy to your enemies and an adversary to your adversaries. In the Psalms, he said he'll cover you with his feathers like a mother bird protecting her young eggs. That's what the Most High do to the prophets, man, and the women that support the prophets. You understand? So and that's why we when we salute each other, we ask a question to each other: who do you fear? And our answer is what, Akim? Who do we fear? The Father we fear. Because we don't fear all the rest of that mess. We don't fear cats in the club. We don't fear your guns. We don't fear your little weapons. We don't fear you. We fear the Father, because he will destroy you in the brain while you stand before us. While you stand before us talking your mess to the prophets of the Lord, he'll scramble your brain right in front of us, and you'll have a seizure, go into a coma and die. That's what could happen to you. That's you playing with your life when you open your mouth in the wrong way to the men of the ISUPK or our women or our sisters. You understand? You playing with your life. So it's a horrible thing that the Lord got to teach these lessons, like Yedaya said, man, and show us that he's not with these holidays. We got to lose our life out here celebrating holidays, man. I seen a whole full Negro, man, dressed up like some old muscle man. Got some old child full of like drawers. He got costume drawers on and costume muscles on, looking all weird and funny, man. You understand? We out having a good time in Houston, Yedaya, and they was having a whole dressed up. It wasn't even Halloween yet. They out Friday dressed up, man. Sisters with this, guess their excuse to dress like whores. They got drawers on and stockings, see-through stockings down their ass and leg with little tails on, like they little animals, little fluffy animals or whatever. Dressed up like I don't know what half of them was, you know what I'm saying? But dressed up. And it's ridiculous that the Lord got to show he's against these things, man. And we got to lose our life, man. We don't want our brothers and sisters to lose their life. But unfortunately, they do, dealing with these holidays and different things. You understand? Give me Jeremiah 10:2. You know what I'm saying? You say brothers out. So Wab said brothers in New York dressed up like pimps, huh? You understand? Like they find a reason to go into the evil, to go into these holidays. You understand?
Them
pimps, they used to pimp our sisters, man. It's the reason why you got a lot of kids out here that don't know who their fathers is, because of the time of pimping pimping these women, and they out here having sex and getting you money back in the day, and sometimes still now. Now they call it ain't pimping no more. They call it human trafficking. You understand? And a lot of the nations, a lot of these heathens, they in on that, kidnapping our women of the 12 tribes, the Gadite sisters, the black sisters, all them sisters going missing. You understand? That's where they ending up, in the hands of some heathens, a bunch of Arabs or Edomites or any of them working together. They got Chinese and Japanese. All of them got their hands in the pimp game. It's called human trafficking now. And they mostly kidnapping our women, man. Our women turning up missing, and it's not even a big deal about investigating it or trying to find out who did it, because there's big money in that black market, you understand, for human trafficking, aka old time pimping. You understand? Go ahead, Jeremiah 10:2.
Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 2. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
That's what the Lord said, man. If you're an Israelite, if you're a Hispanic, Negro, a Latino, North American Indian, First Nation, you understand, you part of the 12 lost tribes of Israel, and those lost tribes are now, a lot of them are not lost. They finding out who they are, that they those tribes of Israel. If you part of that family, man, that bloodline, then you are not to learn the way of the heathen. You are the Israelites. You are the chosen people of the Most High God. Who is the Most High God? He's the God that's higher than every other God that you ever heard of. He's the God that turned the lights on when he created the sun and told the sun to give light by day. He's the God that created the moon and told the moon, you to give the light by night. He's the God that told the stars to shine at night. He's the God that told the waters that was in the earth to separate from the land on the earth. He's the God that created everything. He created your livestock, the animals. He created the insects, the trees, the grass. He the one that gives the sea orders not to go past the sand when it hits the beach and goes back into the ocean. He gives the orders to the sea, to the moon, to the stars. He gives orders to the hurricanes, the typhoons, the tsunamis. That's where they get their orders from. The Most High God of Israel is the God that gives Satan his orders. Mm-hmm. Satan comes before the God of Israel to give reports, just like the angels in Christ do. And then they all get their orders. That's the Most High God who we're talking about. We work for that God that controls life or death. That God that says he makes you rich, he makes you poor. You understand that God? That's the Most High God. You understand? And he the one said, do not learn the way of the heathen. You understand? He said that. And once again, who is a heathen? For those of you who don't know, a heathen is anybody outside of the 12 tribes of Israel. You got the 12 tribes of Israel. The most God chose them as his chosen people, his family, his children. He said, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. Now, everybody else on the earth, they're considered heathens. They're considered heathens or bastards or fatherless children, because God said he is not their father. They're the people that's going to serve us in our kingdom. They are, in fact, the people that we serve right now, because we're being punished. As a punishment from our Father, he turned us over to these people, man, to these people who are supposed to be serving us. But we at the end of that punishment. Daddy about to bring us home, man. All we got to do is show Daddy we ready to be good children now. Right. That's all we got to do. And how do you do that? You start obeying these laws, statutes, and commandments. You acknowledge your culture and your heritage as being Israelites. And you obey and walk in a way that our King, Yahushua, aka Jesus Christ, would approve of. If you live your life and walk your life and speak your life in a way that Jesus Christ would approve of, our black King, then you good with the Most High, man. You good with the Most High. And so that's the walk of the ISUPK. That's the walk of us in One West. We walk that kind of life, you understand? And our God, the Lord, who took us out of Egypt, took our ancestors out of Egypt, he said, learn not the way of the heathen. And Halloween is a way of the heathen. Halloween is their way. It's not our way. It's a Celtic way. You understand? It's an Italian Catholic way. It's a Roman way. It's the way of the Greeks. It's the way of America. And we are damn sure not Americans, black men.
Right.
Not by blood. We are Americans by proxy, because that's where we serving our slavery at. Those are the people who rule over us, Americans. You understand? We learn the language of the Americans. We've been raised in the culture of America. All we've been knowing is America. But thanks be to God, Jesus Christ said, in the last days, I shall raise up all that thou hast given me, Father. And he's raised us up, man. And he's given us the knowledge. And he's put a mark in our foreheads and in our hands, the mark of the truth of who we are. You understand? And that's how we roll now. It's a beautiful thing to be educated on what your culture is and why the horrible things that happen, why they're happening to us, man. And it's a beautiful thing to understand that Halloween is not a holiday that God approves of. You understand? In fact, it's a holiday that can get you killed by God if you celebrate it. You understand? So learn not the way of the heathen. Go ahead.
Kana Wakan. And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
Why does the Lord tell us don't be dismayed or worried or concerned when we see different things happen in the sky and in the heavens, fallen stars and comets and different things, certain red moons and different things that happen in the sky? Why don't the Lord want us to bug out about those things? Read.
Kana Wakan. For the heathen are dismayed at them.
Because heathens, they get dismayed at them. You had groups of heathens saw a comet and said, oh my God, we got to kill ourselves so that our spirits could join on that comet and take us to God, which was stupid as hell. And they got a lot of Israelites to do the same thing, man. And there's groups that kill themselves, drink poison, or, you know what I'm saying, and kill themselves in the hopes to catch a ride on this comet going across the sky. You understand? Or a comet that's predicted to come at a certain time. You understand? We do things that heathens do, and it doesn't help us or bring us any closer to our God. You understand? Don't be dismayed at signs of heaven, because the heathen are dismayed at them, man. Lights in the sky, this, you don't know what it is. You bugged out. Oh my God, what is that? A UFO? Is that this? Don't sweat none of that, man. The Most High God, the God of Israel, the Creator, he knows how to make himself known. If you're looking up in the sky at something and wondering, is that God? Is that a sign from God? Is that? If you got a question, then most likely it's not the Most High God. Because when he does something on this earth, everybody gonna know it's him. You understand? Right. He ain't the type of God that just wants you guessing. You understand? When he had fire separate the Israelites from the Egyptians when we was getting the hell out of Egypt, there was no doubt that this was the Most High doing this. It wasn't no guessing like, where's this coming from? Who is this? No, it wasn't no guessing. The Most High, he knows very well how to make himself known. You understand? So you seeing a light in the sky, you up there worrying, trying to pray to it like it's a chariot. I knew Israelite groups who used to pray to every light in the sky. And then it turned and they saw that it was an airplane. You understand? So, the Lord, he ain't gonna keep you guessing. You're gonna know him well when he speaks. When he speaks from the heaven, everybody gonna know about it. Now, it might not be a good time for you, might not be a happy time. It'll be the scariest moment of your life, but you will know it's him. There will be no doubt. Go ahead. So don't be dismayed at things you see in the sky, because all the heathen world, man, the white people, Chinese people, Arab people, all of them, man, African people, they all bug out when things happen in the sky because they think some pagan god is coming down. Go ahead, read.
Kana Wakan. For the customs of the people are vain.
And that's all we need on that. You understand? Now, this Jeremiah 10 is going to go into a specific custom that the heathen does called that today is known as Christmas. It's known as Christmas, but Christmas is not a new holiday. Christmas was celebrated thousands and thousands of years ago by the heathen, man. Right. And it was a vain custom because it had nothing to do with God or the prophets or the angels or nothing. It ain't have nothing to do with nothing but pagan satanic worship, and it still has nothing to do with Jesus Christ, even though they call it Christmas, Christ Mass. It got nothing to do with Christ or God or the angels or nothing wonderful and beautiful. It's the same old Babylonian satanic worship. That's all it is. And the scripture just said, for the customs of the people are vain, not only Christmas, not only Halloween, but all of them. There's one coming up called Thanksgiving. It's a heathen custom to celebrate, to actually celebrate the murder of our brothers, man, the tribe of Gad. Of our brothers, man. A lot of us got wives that are Gadites. You understand? I got a Gadite wife. I got Gadite brothers, man, all throughout the ISUPK.
Right.
You understand? And we're to celebrate the murder of our brothers and sisters who we love? That's retarded, man. That's ridiculous. But somehow, through slavery, oppression, through ignorance, through the lack of education, through the punishment of God who cut us off from him, we didn't learn that these holidays are something good, man. We sit and we feast and we celebrate behind the murder of our family, man. That's like somebody's slaughtering your family, and then through trauma and torture, they convince you to celebrate that murder of your family every year. That's what Thanksgiving is. You understand? That's a custom of the heathen that's vain. And God is against it, man. You understand? God is against it. So that's it on Halloween. Salakia. You want to go into that Kyrie Irving thing?
Colin McCann, sir.
Go ahead.
Colin McCann. Can you pull up the story about the one I sent you on Charles?
Because just to give a brief on it, I was going to talk about it briefly too. You understand? But Yedaya is going to go in depth on it. You know, everybody knows Kyrie Irving. He's a basketball player, right?
Colin McCann.
And he listen, he simply as far and listen, and I'm trying to hear, I'm gonna listen to what Yedaya is saying, because I want to hear the evil things that Jewish people and even the old coon niggas, man, saying that he said that was so horrible against a race of people. I want to hear the things that he said that's so horrible, because to my understanding, all he did was promote and tell black people, look, there's a movie coming out, or a movie out already, about how black people, how Negroes, are the ancient Hebrews. Check it out. You understand? There's a book out about the same topic. From what I understand, that's all he said. But Yedaya gonna go more in depth, because after he did that, it was like the world came against him. The world came against him. Go ahead. Similar to how they just came against Kanye West for saying black people are the 12 tribes of Israel. Kanye West got full out canceled. I mean, Mark of the Beast canceled. Canceled to where he can't buy or sell. That's the real Mark of the Beast. Mm-hmm. And I heard a lot of you Christian Hebrew Israelite groups, now you're seeing what the Mark of the Beast is. Because we've been telling you for years, it's not a microchip. It's not going to the store buying a loaf of bread. It's not supermarkets getting shut down. This is commerce, billion-dollar industries and billion-dollar sales and things and companies, being taken from you if you don't comply with his program. But now a lot of you are starting to see the truth about the Mark of the Beast. Salaki, Yedaya, go ahead.
Kyle, sir, what you bringing out is just so heavy, because they're getting ready to do the same thing to Kyrie Irving. Where Kyrie Irving, all he did on his Twitter was post the link to the documentary and the book Hebrews to Negroes, Wake Up Black America, and Esau got upset.
Hebrews to Negroes? What is it called?
The book is called, and the documentary is on Amazon Prime. It's called Hebrews to Negroes.
Hebrews to Negroes. Y'all can get it on Amazon Prime. I think they got the book, and I believe they got the short film or something like that, right?
Colin McCann.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, a small comment on it. I couldn't understand something. Me and General Haas was talking about it, yesterday before the show. It said, how could you have a documentary called Hebrews to Negroes and even a book and not consult or get with Commander General Yohana?
Yeah,
that's a different conversation, sir.
That's how you know when you get the book, it's going to be a lot of bones in it, which we call bones, which are untruths. it's gonna be a lot of untruths. That's why when we use different books for history, even now, Babylon and Timbuktu, the Lost Tribes and Promised Land, we know what to pick out of those books that's the absolute truth, and we also know the falsities in these different books. You understand, that don't coincide with the prophecies of the Bible. So we can pick out the truths in these books. We can get this book, Hebrews to Negroes, and we'll know what's the truth in it and what's the lie. So, unless you consult with Commander General Yohana or any of his students, you can't fully believe the entire book, no matter who makes it or what it is. Go ahead, Yediah Slocker.
Khan Wakam, and which is so heavy. Like all he did was post that link, and they went on a tangent. I also have a video of the press conference he did after the Pacers game, where this reporter just came at him, and Kyrie was defending himself. Mm-hmm. Now, but if I could, Bob, can you read the title of this article? Because Charles Barkley went on NBA Today after the game and was just just cooning it up for the oppressor, for the oppressor. Face full up the rear end of the oppressor, General Mayock, which is so heavy. And it never really amazes me, to show like why it's hard for a rich man to enter into the kingdom, because they don't want to, even though they know it's true. Even Shaq, he was on there and he gave, he called Kyrie an idiot, but he was mainly, if you really depict it and read what Shaq was saying, I respect everybody. I say, the shalom, the people with salam alaikum. Shaq is looking at the money that Kyrie's getting ready to lose, but Charles Barkley took it to a completely different level. Now, if I could, can you read?
Okay. I think the NBA dropped the ball on Kyrie Irving, says Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley said that the NBA dropped the ball. Dropped the ball. Meaning this. Keep going. Let's read a little bit more.
Okay. NBA analyst and Basketball Hall of Famer Charles Barkley says he thinks the league dropped the ball on Kyrie Irving after the Brooklyn Nets star tweeted a documentary deemed to be anti-Semitic.
Which he dropped. It said that he dropped the ball, man, because he went and promoted a documentary that deemed to be anti-Semitic. Like, you go over all the time, General, and we do as well, is that we can't be anti-Semitic. First off, it's not even really anti-Semitic because we're all descendants of Shem, Black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. And there was a particular people that came out of Shem. The so-called Jew was not chosen, out of Shem. Blacks and Latinos and First Nation men and women are. So we can't be anti-Shemitic. Keep going, Ibad.
And listen, and it's deemed, who is it deemed by? It's deemed to be anti-Semitic by heathens, by people that are not Israelites. You understand? Right. How can the Israelites are the Semites? We're the Semitic people. Right. So if anybody cries anti-Semitic, like Yediah said, it has to be somebody that's a Semite, a Semitic person, which are the 12 tribes of Israel. You understand? The Lord said, we're his sons. Ishmael, Esau, none of them are considered children of Abraham, Isaac, or Jacob any longer, even though Ishmael was a biological son of Abraham, even though Esau came out of Isaac and Rebekah, just like we did. The Lord don't consider them children any longer. We're the only children. We're the only Semites. You understand? They are not. How can heathens, and just like that Southern poverty group, consider us a hate group. They deem us as a hate group. Once again, you got heathens doing all this deeming. I deem you a hate group. I deem you anti-Semitic. These are heathens, man. These are ungodly people who have no affiliation with God or righteousness or anything. It's just that because we don't love white people like they think we should, we're considered a hate group. Well, we're not a hate group. We just love our own. We're a goddamn love group. We love Israelites, man. Right. We love them to where we stand on the streets and risk our life. We risk our life on these streets, man. People with guns and all type of weapons. We go out there with no fear because the Father we fear. That's it. We go out there and risk our life, sacrifice being with our babies and our women. You understand? Sacrifice a lot of things to stand on the street to do the work of God, to wake our people up, man. And they got a nerve to call us a hate group. Well, if you really look at what we do, you'll see full of love, full of love. We ain't out here putting hits on people. We ain't out here murdering people, forcing you to join our belief system. We ain't doing none of that. If you want to be a homo, be a homo. God gonna deal with you, not us. We ain't forcing you to do nothing. We ain't punishing. The Lord told us, don't judge. To judge is to punish. The heathens judge us, send us to 20 years, 10 years, 30 years, and a lot of times we don't even do the crime, and we still get them 30 years. We'll read about that later. We'll read about that later. But the ISUPK, we don't even go out here and punish or judge anybody, man. So if when you look at it, I think the heathens are the hate group.
Right.
ISUPK is not the hate group. If you look at it, I think Jewish people are anti-Semitic. You understand? I think that punk ass Charles Barkley is a damn anti-Semitic against his own goddamn people, man.
Right.
You understand? Anybody who hurts black people, anybody who hurts Hispanics and Latinos, anybody who hurts Native American Indians, First Nation people, anybody who harms and hurt them in any way, you are anti-Semitic, man.
Right.
You are anti-Semitic. So the hell with them demon what Kyrie or anybody else saying is anti-Semitic. When you Negroes, you know, the heathens are doing all this demon, so it ain't to be respected. You understand? And Charles Barkley, he been Uncle Tom in it, like you said, Sawap, Uncle Ruckus in it for forever. He been doing that forever, man. That damn Charles Barkley. Salaki, you die. Go ahead.
Khan, what you saying is so heavy, sir, because Kanye said it too in on the Drink Champs interview, where he talked about, you know what I mean, how the so-called Jew tell us, you know what I mean, and how they promote. Like that one devil went on the Breakfast Club with Charlemagne, and he said, you know, I'd rather promote blacks and Latinos killing each other because I got to feed my family. That's going to sell more than the conscious rapper.
I heard him. He was trying to talk around it, but Charlemagne got him. He said, well, wouldn't that seem kind of, you know, with all the killing, what you talking about, why would you still promote that? He said, First he got mad at Charlemagne. He said, you're not listening. I already told you. And then they pressed him a little more. He said, what was his name? Is Liar Cohen? Is that his name? So he said, well, I got family to feed. He just came on with it. Listen, I'm trying to make money out here too. So that's why I promote all this. It ain't killing my people. If stomping on your people gonna feed my people, shit, it only makes sense. That's basically what he said. Go ahead, Oxlock.
Kana Wakan, sir. Kana Wakan. Keep reading that, Bob. Get to the point where he said, I think.
Okay.
And Shalakia, to bring up that other devil, you die, you know his name. He said when I think when Nick Cannon brought out how black people are the Israelites, he said that's low class information. I couldn't believe he said it. Huh?
That was Max Kellerman of ESPN. He said that blacks and Latinos and First Nation men and women saying that we're the real Jews of antiquity is low class information. And if I can, sir, General Haas went over this yesterday, and I second his notion. Prove it's low class information because we reading it out the Bible. We reading it out the Torah.
God, it's low class. He said that because the people that are saying it in his mind and to his people, you know, are low class people. Right. because the information are coming from what they deem as low class people, us, the 12 tribes, it's low class information. But what he don't know, what Kellerman don't know, is that low class information coming from these low class people. We're about to be the upper class. We're about to be the rulers of this earth. Right. And the information is still fact. Just because it's coming from what you think are low-class people is still fact. Jesus Christ was born in a low-class family. You understand? He walked this earth. He wasn't a wealthy man. His father was a carpenter. He learned a little carpentry. He was low-class in the eyes of Kellerman, Jesus Christ himself. Right. And all the information he taught was facts, and it revolutionized the world and still raising up the prophets today. That information that Jesus Christ taught, and Jesus Christ was low class too. So swallow that, devil. Right. Swallow that. Slock it. Go ahead.
Right. Keep going, Bob.
No comment. I think Irving, should have been suspended.
He said Irving should have been suspended. And I was like, damn, General, for what? But saying
Charles Barkley?
Colin Wakan, he said he should have been suspended.
Like, did he say why? Did they quote him on saying why?
Oh, Colin Wakan, sir, on why. Drop down, Bob, where it says first of all.
First of all, Adam is Jewish.
Adam Silver is the NBA commissioner, General. Read on.
You can't take my $40 million Irving reported salary and insult my religion.
He said, you can't take, Adam Silver's $40 million. In other words, sir, he said, you can't take Massa's $40 million and then insult Massa. But
don't that sound familiar? But Massa feeds us. The slaves say, listen, Jasper, we're going to escape tonight. Soon as the sun go down, we all meet in the cave and we going to escape. And Jasper say, why else we going to escape? Massa feeds us good. Massa gives us clothes. Massa, Jasper, come on. You gotta put this stuff in the kids' food tonight. You gotta do it tonight, Jasper. Put this in Massa's food, but Massa gonna feed some to the kids. Jasper, you got to put this stuff in the Jasper, the house nigga. He the cook, and the slaves on the field trying to tell him, listen, we gonna kill Massa's family and get the hell out of here tonight. But Jasper, he lived too good. He wear that suit that Massa give him, that monkey suit, and he look good. So Massa gives us clothes and nice shoes, and Massa feeds us. Don't do this to the babies. That's Charles Barkley. He the house nigga, man, that the slaves, the field niggas eventually put to death. You understand? Right. And if it wasn't for Christ and the ISUPK understanding this Bible, we'd probably be putting a lot of coons like Charles Barkley to death too. But we're not ignorant, and we understand the Most High. That ain't the answer, putting these coons to death. You understand? The answer is doing exactly what we're doing and prophesying and teaching on these streets and everywhere. On these streets and everywhere until enough of our people wake up, and all the coons going to be dealt with anyway. The Lord going to deal with them. Slocky, you got it.
Calm, sir. I got a video. I got the video, too, of Kyrie, like, after the game, where the reporter asked him, asked him about, tweeting about the book, in the documentary, and which is just so heavy. Like, that's a tool that the oppressor uses because they can't prove, them being Jews. They can't prove their lineage and their heritage. So they have to go on these tirades and use the media, and that propaganda to try to disprove us. Well, all Kyrie did was just promote. All he did, was just, tweet about a book. He even tried to deny, the promotion of it, saying I'm not really promoting it. I saw it and just, well, he going to explain. But what really stuck out to me, sir, is that it doesn't take much. Like we saw what Nick Cannon did and how he got ostracized. We saw Deshaun Jackson. We saw Kanye West. We're looking at Kyrie Irving right now. And it's one thing that the so-called Jew does not do. He'll come out there and say we're anti-Semitic, anti-Semitism, and that garbage, but they'll never prove their claim of being correct and us being wrong. You'll never see that. If I could, go ahead, sir.
In essence, they just saying, shut up. That's what they saying in essence. It ain't like they saying, wait a minute, they can't say that because of this and this and this. Those are lies because of this and this. It's just you're anti-Semitic, and they done taught the world that you're supposed to hush whoever is anti-Semitic. Just make them shut up. We're the real Jews. You're not the Jewish man. Shut up. Shut up. Take his money. Fire him from his job. Take his car. Suspend him. Do this. Arrest him. But anything just to make him shut up. And that's all. They just want you to shut up and not talk about it. Because if you talk about it, if they got to answer and explain why what we're saying is wrong, or why what Kyrie's saying is wrong, why is what Nick Cannon's saying is wrong, why is what Kanye West saying is wrong, if they got to talk and explain that, they'll embarrass their goddamn selves. So the anti-Semitic thing is just so everybody can shut up. Y'all shut up and don't talk about it, and we gonna shut up and don't talk about it. If you say we're not the Jews, you're anti-Semitic, you better shut up and don't say it again. It ain't really no conversation to be had. They just want it not to be talked about. Because if it's talked about, the truth gonna be uncovered any damn way. Go ahead, Slock.
Conor Khan. Go ahead, Ibai. Play that video. Play from the beginning too.
Playing video now.
In the Hebrew language is Yahweh. So I went on to title given to Christ, Philippians 2:11. And my name translates in the Hebrew language as Yahweh. So I went on to Amazon Prime. I was like, you know what, let me see if there are any documentaries on Yahweh. So went in the search bar, typed in Yahweh, that came up. Went out and shared it on my platform. That was my night. In terms of the backlash or what people call it, we're in 2022. History is not supposed to be hidden from anybody. And I'm not a divisive person when it comes to religion. I embrace all walks of life. You see it on all my platforms. I talk to all races, all cultures, all religions, and my response would be, it's not about educating yourself on what Semitism is and what anti-Semitism is. It's really about learning the root words of where these come from and understanding that this is an African heritage that is also belonging to the people. Africa is in it, whether we want to dismiss it or not. So the claims of anti-Semitism and who are the original chosen people of God, and we go into these religious conversations and it's a big no-no. I don't live my way like that. I don't live my life that way. Excuse me, I grew up in a melting pot, and I say a melting pot of all races, white, black, red, yellow, Jewish, Christian, Muslim, and you can see the way I live my life now. I'm not here to be divisive, so they can push their agenda. I don't want to say they, because I'm not identifying any one group or race of people, but I'm in a unique position to have a level of influence on my community. And what I post does not mean that I support everything that's being said or everything that's being done, or I'm campaigning for anything. All I do is post things for my people in my community and those that it's actually going to impact. Anybody else that has criticism obviously wasn't meant for them.
Now look, now that wasn't even, you know,
understanding.
Khan, sir.
Go ahead, you can play it. I mean, that's heavy what he bringing out.
Come.
What he's saying is proof that you free in America. You free in America to be any religion you want, except a Jew. Like, you know what I'm saying? It should be illegal to say that he's anti-Semitic for saying black people are Jews. Like, can he be a Jew? You understand? Can't black people be Jews? Hell, you're free to be anything you want in this earth, it seems, but except an Israelite, except a Jew. You understand? Go ahead, Slaki.
Khan.
I don't expect understanding from a media conglomerate group that sincerely talks about the game of basketball when they bring up religion as if it's correlative at times when it's convenient for people to bring it up. So please just be direct with your question so we can move on from this and I can talk about the game and go home to my son Elohim and my wife Marlene, okay?
I might take it that this was what you shared was not something that you've even watched. This was, you did watch it or either watch it or read it.
Read a lot. Read a whole bunch. Good and bad about the truth of our world.
So then do you, I guess, understand or not understand those that might imply that that work had anti-Semitic leanings in it? I only ask this because the tweet is still up there, so we're
in 2022. It's on Amazon, a public platform. Whether you want to go watch it or not is up to you. There's things being posted every day. I'm no different than the next human being, so don't treat me any different. You guys come in here and make up this powerful influence I have over top of the adultery of, oh, you cannot post that. Why not? Why not? I don't hear uproar on that. I'm not here to be divisive on what's going on this or that. I'm not comparing Jews to blacks. I'm not comparing white to black. I'm not doing that. That conversation is dismissive, and it constantly revolves around the rhetoric of who are the chosen people of God. And I'm not here to argue over a person or a culture or religion on what they believe. No, this is what is here. It's on a public platform. Did I do anything illegal? Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Did I do anything illegal? Did I hurt anybody? Did I harm anybody? Am I going out and saying that I hate one specific group of people? So out of all the judgment that people got from me posting, I just, without talking to me, and then I respect what Joe said, but there has a lot to do with the not ego or pride of how proud I am to be an African heritage, but also to be living as a free black man here in America, knowing the historical complexities for me to get here. So I'm not going to stand down on anything that I believe in. I'm only going to get stronger because I'm not alone. I have a whole army around me.
Okay, Reed, while we're on the topic of promotion, why did you decide to promote something that Alex Jones said?
That was a few weeks ago.
Of African heritage. But the fact is that he's saying that I do anything.
You died. I might have had you on mute for a second. Slocky. So say what you're saying again.
Oh, if I could, sir. Now, he was about to go into something else that he said that Alex Jones said about years ago about the secret societies and all that. But it's something that Kyrie said that was heavy, sir, that I thought was heavy, where he said, you know what I mean? You know, we're not in America. You know what I mean? I'm not a free black man in America. Did I do something that's illegal? I get 2 Maccabees chapter 6 and verse 6. What our people don't understand is even calling yourself a Jew and coming back to our nationality damn near is illegal in America, because it was damn near illegal back then during the time of the Greeks and the Romans. And even further on in the interview, I don't want to take up too much of the time, they started to really attack Kyrie on it, like, oh, but do you know about the anti-Semitic tropes and what happened to Jewish people and what they go through? They even went to the Brooklyn Nets game the other day and
we can play it. We can play it, Yedai. We got time. Let's do it.
Oh, Connor Wakan, sir. Connor Wakan. They even went to the game. They went to the game, you know what I mean, 8 so-called, you know what I mean, Jewish oppressors came to the game, sat front row and wore, you know what I mean, T-shirts that said fight anti-Semitism. The New England Patriots owner, Robert Kraft, you know what I mean, who owns, you know, Kraft Cheese, him and his family. They ran ads throughout, you know what I mean, you know, throughout the games going on with the NFL about fight anti-Semitism. And you can see the hypocrisy when it comes to our people. Like, there's nobody that wants to stand up for blacks and Latinos. Like, nobody wanted to stand up for George Floyd, Philando Castillo, Sandra Bland, Vanessa Gillian, Ramon Lopez, except for Commander General Yohanan, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. But even the notion, you know what I mean, to say, oh, that you're a Jew, that to promote, you know what I mean, the book Hebrews, the Negroes, to even confess it and say it, you know what I mean, it can't really register with the oppressor in these other nations, because they know who we are and they don't want us to come back to it. If I could just pull this one scripture, sir, and we can get back to the video.
Okay. This is the book of 2 Maccabees, 6 and verse 6. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days.
Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days. They don't want us to keep the high holy days. They don't want us to keep, you know what I mean, the Passover, the Day of Atonement, the Feast of Unleavened Bread. They don't want us to keep the Sabbath. That's why the oppressor hates to give us off a day. Like, you try to get off on the Sabbath, by the oppressor look at you the same way Pharaoh looked at Moses and us, like, oh, y'all got too much time on your hands. Read on.
Or ancient feasts.
Or ancient feasts. We got the Feast of Hanukkah coming up. Now, I taught the class yesterday, sir, and taught a little bit of it Monday. And we went into Mattathias, you know what I mean, and his sons, and how they stood stiffly and how they stood strong, and how the king's officers and the oppressors came to Mattathias and said, you are a ruler. You know what I mean? You are highly respected. If you just come and do the king's commandment, you go and eat that pork, you go and do the ordinances of these heathens, it could be very profitable for you. You can get that gold and that silver, and that's what happened to a lot of our people like Charles Barkley.
Exactly.
You see that gold and that silver, and you can't
How was that? That's a good point, too.
Most High Christ,
That's
sir.
Charles Barkley took the damn deal. Go ahead.
Come, sir. You know what I mean? Barakatah why y'all was shy for this truth, man, for the Commander General Yohanan and the generals and yourself, sir. Because we're not taking that gold and that silver. They came to Commander General Yohanan in the 80s with the bag, with the bag. A lot of your fake Israelites that masquerade in purple, they took that bag on, you know, on Forbes top 10 preachers, you know what I mean, of the decade. Goes to show you, man. Like, the real priests and prophets can't be bought out. We got to be like Mattathias. They came to him and said, hey, we're going to give you this silver and this gold. And he said, no, me and my house, we're going to serve the Lord. Neither do they want us to keep the Sabbath day, these ancient feasts, you know what I mean, these high holy days, read on.
Or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
Or profess himself at all to be a Jew. Like, if you are a black or Latino or First Nation man in America, you cannot profess yourself at all to be a Jew without facing scrutiny, without being demonized. Like, all Kyrie said was, damn, did I do something illegal? Did I do something that was wrong? Not realizing, man, in the oppressor's eyes you did, because you coming back to your identity, your culture, your nationality. You know what they want us to do, Ibad? They told LeBron this a couple years ago. They want us to shut up and dribble. They want us to shut up, go out there, catch that football, hit that baseball, sing and dance. They do not want us the creed that we have, that the Lord gave us, man.
That's right.
That was it, sir.
And listen, you would think that, you know, I know they've been against us since 1969, because what we say is rough, about the roughest things on earth. Now, I understand when they come against us, but Kyrie was pretty sweet. You know what I'm saying? He was pretty nice. You know what I'm saying? He came at it. He came at being an Israelite with a good Christian spirit. You know what I'm saying? Like a good boy.
Right.
spirit. You know what I'm saying? He was real. That was some good boy shit. He just talking about the book. He just, he said, listen, I ain't say, nothing about putting blacks against whites or who's the real Jews or who's not. He ain't come with none of that, like saying Jewish people are the false Jews. He didn't say, we're the real Jews and the only Jews. He didn't come with no negativity toward no people. Like he said, he said he's down with all people and this and that because he is. But he just found out some truth about his people that he wanted to support this book, support this movie, and talk about this. He wasn't against no goddamn body in none of his comments. But that still ain't enough for Jewish people because the truth of their lie coming out and everybody throwing them away is so close and they feel the heat that the truth is coming out. They always knew the truth. America's the top leaders, at least, have always known the truth. The world, Egyptian ambassadors, African leaders of the world has always known the truth. The ones that's higher up, you understand, but it's just something that everybody's not to talk about because America gave them their jewelry, put them in the land, supports them, they get money, and that's that. Everybody's supposed to be quiet about it. Now, if they allow this thing to be talked about, it could disrupt their whole thing, man. It could disrupt their whole thing. Listen, the Arabs would end up being more right than Jewish people. Them Palestinians that been oppressed for so long by the Israelis, Jewish people, you understand, all their claims would be stronger than Israelis if this truth came out. So they got to just shush everybody because once again, Kyrie was pretty nice, but he, like you said, like you just said, he didn't do nothing illegal, nothing wrong. He ain't say no group of people was wrong. He didn't even want to say just now. He said, yeah, even though I said this, didn't do anything wrong, they still want to. Then he stopped himself, said, I ain't even going to say they. He didn't even want to accuse them and say they, talking about Jewish people. He didn't even want to go that route. Right. The route saying they are doing this, they're wronging me. He didn't even want to blame them for wronging him. He just wanted to say he's been wrong. This is wrong, not right, because I've done nothing illegal. You understand? He even cleaned that up, but they will still come at him because just saying the truth, that truth. There's a lot of truths you can say in America and in the world, but that truth has been very well hidden for a long time and very well covered up and kept quiet. Billions of dollars behind keeping it quiet. It's just been muffled for so well that even the little conversations about it can disrupt this whole world. You understand? Slock.
Khan, there's a little bit more in the video if you want to hear where they get to start.
I want to hear
it. Oh, go ahead. Ibai, you can continue to play.
I do not stand with Alex Jones' position, narrative, court case that he had with Sandy Hook, or any of the kids that felt like they had to relive trauma, or parents that had to relive trauma, or to be dismissive to all the lives that were lost during that tragic event. My post was a post from Alex Jones that he did in the early 90s or late 90s about secret societies in America of occults, and it's true. So I wasn't identifying with anything of being a campaignist for Alex Jones or anything. I'm just there to post. And it's funny, and it's actually hilarious because out of all the things I posted that day, that was the one post that everyone chose to see. It just goes back to the way our world is and works. I'm not here to complain about it. I just exist. And to follow up on the promotion of the movie and the book.
Can you please stop calling it a promotion? What am I promoting?
Put it out on your platform.
But I'm promoting it? Do you see me doing, do you see me in front of
it out there? People are going to say that you are.
I put it out there just like you put things out there, right?
Yeah, but
okay. You put things out there for a living, right?
Right, but my stuff
great. So let's move on. Let's move on.
Anti-Semitic.
Let's move on. Don't dehumanize me up here.
I'm not doing that.
I can post whatever I want. So say that and shut it down and move on to the next question.
But Kyrie, you have to understand that
I don't have to understand anything from you.
It's not me.
Nothing. No people that you're making up, bro. Move on.
But by posting,
move on. Next question.
Any question? Do you guys have any more questions? And they're gonna say, "You guys have any more questions?" Because this is going to be a clip. This is going to be a clip that he's going to marvel at. Is this any more questions?
But you're not answering the question.
This is not asking your question. Oh my God! Let's make another Instagram clip so we can be famous again. Next question.
Curry basketball related.
That's it on that. As you can see, sir, you know what I mean, him pushing, but you know, you have to understand, you know what I mean, the anti-Semitic tropes of it. Like you gotta realize, you know what I mean, on your platform, essentially what they're saying is they don't want you to promote any of that. Because as soon as you go and tweet Hebrews to Negroes, our people are going to start to look. And eventually, because we pray for it all the time here in the UPK, sir, for the Lord to open up the internet, to open up the airwaves, and they don't want our people coming back and through these doors, sir.
God,
A lot.
listen, it's all these things are signs, brother. These are signs that the Most High is allowing to go on, and because the bottom about to drop out of this place. You understand? The bottom is about to drop out of this place. And once again, this ain't nothing new. Like the officer just brought out in the Maccabees, it said we couldn't acknowledge our Sabbath, and we couldn't say we a Jew.
Right.
We couldn't say we a Jew, man. And the same thing is going on, man. History is repeating itself. And just like those kingdoms fell, America shall fall too. Right. America shall fall too. Anything else?
Khan, that was pretty much it on that, sir.
Okay. No sweat. So I'm what time? Okay, I'm gonna go into a couple of stories. Also, if y'all got any questions, y'all could type in some questions and I could try to go into them if I got time. Until then, let's get that first story. About the possibility that an innocent person. Let's get that. Give Officer Yedaya a hand too.
More time, Christ.
Every points he brought out, man. You know what I'm saying?
Got it, sir.
I want to also give a shout out to, man, all the brothers, man. The music we play on these shows, man, are off the chain, man. Off the chain.
Right.
You understand? These brothers got this. Like, ain't nobody like UPK music. Ain't no music out here. I heard somebody trying to challenge and want to do a versus UPK versus them or whoever. You understand? Y'all don't want no smoke when it comes to music either. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Y'all don't want no smoke, man. We got the most talented brothers. Look, brothers even acting, Yedaya. You saw the brothers in Delaware, right? Doing little acting skits. And then the brothers in I think Cali. I know his Officer Yawasop and a couple other brothers. They just did a skit from Minister Society. It's pretty decent. Brothers got talent, man. We doing it up, you know. It's just that our oppressor who runs the world, who owns Hollywood, that same Jewish man, I'm gonna say it. You understand? That same Jewish man that owns Hollywood, the media, the news, they decide who gets famous, at least in the world, or not. You understand? Well, they can cut us off and stop us all they want. We're going to do it the way the Lord wants, and brothers still going to go out there. You understand? Top producers got Daniel Allah in their playlist. You understand?
Right.
Top producers on their social media sites, Daniel Allah, Kai Tawar, they in their playlist. They putting them on their personal spaces, man. You understand? So I just want to give a shout out to all the talented brothers, man. What Captain Katazar, Cod, Tawar, them brothers. I know Yaradon just made a track. Officer Captain Aria just made a track with Daniel Allah, Barzal. I heard Barzal getting it, and I even heard Mawa Quaz. I believe. I think Mawa Quaz still a trooper.
Sir.
Trooper Mawa Quaz. Did I hear him? I heard him rap. Right? He's on one of the tracks. Okay, no, so you got to get his officership, Mawa Quaz. Let's get it on, man. And so, you know what I mean, brothers in Quarak over in Cali, brothers in Houston, Florida, you know what I'm saying? I don't know all the names, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm the songs like Hebrew Drip, you know what I'm saying? Daniel Allah's top 3, you know what I'm saying? Of course, Captain Cod, 144, the Rebel. Go ahead, you was going to say something?
If I may, sir, Officer 500, Natazab, who was in the video with Yawasop the Skit, he's an excellent rapper, too. He just dropped a track called Def Con 4.
Oh man, I think I saw it. I gotta get it. I'm gonna get it. Brothers in Florida, that Woe to America. I love that joint. You know what I'm saying? Last Stand, Daniel Allah hooking it up, Endless. Yep, Daniel Allah got so much. Him and Barzal and Marquaz got that track. Daniela got
Right.
something called Just Cause. What else?
Right.
Locked In. What is it? Okay, it's just different.
One West World.
One Westworld, right, right. Ty Ward got the My Whole Life joint. You know what I'm saying? Outside. Ty got a joint called Fuck 'em, just fuck 'em. You know what I'm saying? The first 48. My niggas. Yardon got the Payback as a Dog joint. Ashiyar, I just want to ball. The whole nation trying to ball. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What else? Kawak got a song I like. Oh man, I don't know the name. What is it? Once you get it.
Shut down YC.
I don't know the name of the joint though. You know what I'm saying? Kawak, what else? You got all right, that's it right now that I got. I got to get them new tracks too, man. But just to give a shout out to all the talented brothers in Israel and all the talented sisters, man. There's a lot of skill in Israel, man. I just heard about sisters that do all type of got all type of talent in the school, man. And it's beautiful, man. We got to utilize these talent. All you captains, man. We got to start finding out, you know, all the talents that our brothers and sisters got, man, and see what we could do to use it toward the nation. You understand? Hell, we could have our own studios, just like Amalek got studios and the production and all this and that. We can do the same thing. Hell, you know what I'm saying? We can get up enough money to, you know, pay these DJs to play songs and whatnot. Now, of course, once they play it, they probably won't be able to play it again because Amalek own the station. But eventually, we got to get our own stations. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Our own stations with you know. And that's when you get into all the red tape of the signals and all that, paying for the satellites and where it can be played. And again, I know Jewish people control all that too. You know what I'm saying? So they control a whole lot of things, but they can be fought against, man. And fight them in public. What they hate is publicity. They hate for people to know the dirt they do. So if they knew black groups got the money and trying to spend the money to start their own radio stations and make it public, every step and let the world know what's going on. If they stop it, then the world will see them stopping it, and then it might just be true that Jewish people control every goddamn thing, and the world will see it. It'll unfold right in front of the world. You understand? So we got that story yet?
Conor McCon, sir.
Okay, let's get that.
Possibilities about Conor McCon, sir. The possibility that an innocent person could be executed is real. After almost 40 years and a brush with the death penalty, DNA clears California black man of rape and murder charges.
Now listen to this. I want y'all to hear this story. A brother was sentenced how many years?
Conor McCon.
You would say
almost 40 years.
40 years, right? He was sentenced to go to jail for rape and what else?
Conor McCon and murder charges.
Rape and murder. This brother was convicted, right? 40 years. Go ahead.
Conor McCon, a California black man has been released from prison after DNA evidence exonerated him from a rape, and he was convicted of 38 years ago.
And now, so the DNA now, new DNA come out, and they finally test it, and they see that he's not the one who raped this woman, man. He was found innocent, and he was released. Read.
Conor McCon, sir. The recent decision to let him go free comes 20 years after he and his lawyers requested forensic testing and were denied.
They were what? Read that again.
Conor McCon. It says after over 20 years after he and his lawyers requested forensic testing and
like
were
20
denied.
years ago, they requested forensic information, forensic testing, man, to try to show that this man is innocent. They did that 20 years ago, and what?
Conor McCon, and was denied.
And were denied, man. And were denied. Your lawyers try to get the thing that it take to prove your innocence, and these devils, these heathen that run the courts just say, nah, we ain't going back into that. Nope, you can't have it. But it'll get my client off. It'll prove his innocence. Nah, he's been in too long. Nah, we ain't going. We're not revisiting that. No. They just tell you no. And what the hell you gonna do? Go ahead.
Conor McCon, sir. On Friday, October 28th, the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office released a statement announcing Maurice Hastings' 1988 murder and rape conviction was vacated. The 69-year-old man had been serving time for the 1983 murder of Roberta Widmer, 30, and 2 attempted murders. On the night of her premature demise, the young woman was out on a late supermarket trip when she vanished. Her body was discovered in the trunk of her vehicle in the Los Angeles suburb of Inglewood, where she was found to have suffered a single shot to the head and had been sexually assaulted.
So somebody shot her in the head and raped her and stuffed her in her trunk, right? This brother got arrested for it. Go ahead.
Colonel Khan, at the time, a coroner conducted an examination of her body, swabbing of various body parts, including an oral swab, which semen was detected. Hastings was arrested months after the slaying and charged with a special circumstance murder, and the prosecution sought the ultimate punishment of death. 2 trials were held. The first trial was
going to give him the death penalty. Go ahead.
Colonel Khan. The first trial with a hung jury in 1986, and his second trial in 1988, Hastings was convicted and sentenced to life in state prison without the possibility of parole in 1988. The prosecution originally sought the death penalty. Hastings always maintained his innocence, and in 2000 requested DNA testing be done to prove his innocence to the courts. In 2021, submitted another claim of innocence to the district attorney's conviction integrity union, which took his claim seriously. In June 2022, the testing confirmed what Hastings has been saying all along. The semen sample captured on the swab from the victim's mouth did not match him, but did another man in the state's combined DNA index system who had been engaged in and convicted of an armed kidnapping where he placed his female victim in a trunk of a car, as well as the kidnap, rape, and forcible oral copulation of a young woman, for which he was sentenced to 56 years in custody.
This another guy, right?
Colonel Khan, sir.
Go ahead.
Hastings was released from jail on Thursday, October 20th, after upon seeing the new evidence, his lawyers, the Los Angeles Innocence Project at Cali State, LA, requested his conviction be vacated.
God. There's a part in here that I didn't hear that, let me see, where it said it was covered up. There was a cover up, including the FBI.
Colonel Khan.
Thought I read it. The testing was denied. Because that's important. Or I wonder, Slocky, let me see. Bear with me 1 second.
That's like, sir, if I may, I think it's in
Go
the
ahead.
next story with the
Go ahead. Keep reading. Oh, right. That's that one. Come. No sweat. Go ahead, you guys. Slocky.
Colonel Khan, sir. It says the system failed you. The system failed the victims, the DA said. It says we no longer have any confidence in the veracity of the case against Mr. Hastings, said Los Angeles County District Attorney George Gascon.
Cool. And Ibad, give me the scripture. Fathers have inherited lies. I believe it says something to that effect. Because this story, and listen, this is a story that it started with the possibility that an innocent person could be executed as real. That's how it started, right? But that ain't nothing new to Blacks and the Hispanics and North American Indians. We always known that the possibility to go to jail for the rest of your life and even get put to death, people get given the death penalty for something you did not do. We always known that was real. We've always known it. You understand? It's the children of you murderous white people. White people, the heathens, you living in a Disney world, a bubble land where you think everything is wonderful and all the horrors that Black people complain about can't possibly be real. You live in that fairy tale world. You understand? Because your forefathers have murdered and done evil and have tortured people to get the land and to get these companies that run the world and to get all this wealth. They have done horrible things. They have sold their soul to Satan, man, to get the America that you live in now. And now you being their grandchildren and their descendants, you able to live good and go to the best schools and eat in the best restaurants and just live in a totally pripsy perfect world walking around in America. So when you hear black people saying the horrible things that's happening to us, you just simply don't believe this. No, that can't be true. Not in America. People can't be going to jail forever for being innocent. Not in America. I know people get a fair trial. You get a fair trial. You were judged by a jury of 12. I mean, 12 different people from different walks of life convicted you. They can't be wrong. You must have done the crime if you're in there doing the time. They live in that kind of world. You understand? They haven't walked in our shoes, Yediah.
Right.
You understand? They haven't lived the life that we live, Ibad. You understand? Where you most certainly can go to prison being innocent and get put on death row being innocent. We live in a world where we see and live every day where the police lie. Is that big news? The police will lie on their report and plant drugs on you. We got them on video. But what does the leaders say? Write it up as a isolated incident. Talk about that officer. We have a few bad apples. That's their excuse when the whole goddamn force is a goddamn basket of rotten bad apples. All of them.
Right.
There was no good apples in the basket. That's the truth. But again, it's we have there's a couple of bad apples and we're investigating it. There needs to be retraining. Retraining. The only way you're going to stop these devils is if when they lie, they put somebody on death row. When the lie is uncovered, they should be sent to death row.
Right.
They should get the punishment that they're trying to put on somebody innocent. That's the only thing that's fair.
Right.
But no, they want to have a conversation. They think a conversation is going to make a brother and his family who he's been in jail 40 years and now he's let go innocent. You think that's good enough, huh? I know he's happy as hell. He don't want no smoke after the goddamn 40 years. But no, that don't take away the pain, the 40-year pain and trauma that he and his family went through. No, we want the police, the FBI investigators, everybody who had a hand in covering this thing up, everybody who denied us bringing out the forensic material 20 years ago, everybody who had a part should go to jail and live a horrible life behind bars the same way this brother did. That would be just if this was a just society, if this was a just government. Of course. But of course, we all know that's just talk in America for now. That's just talk. Our kingdom will come, Yediah.
Right.
And the world will see real justice. Because the book of Psalms say we're going to put their kings in fetters of iron. And we're going to put their nobles in chains. And then we're going to execute the judgment written. That sounds like trials in court.
Right.
That sounds like white people, the leaders of this earth right now, who rule once our king comes back and take them down. We're putting them on trial. And they will be held accountable and they will answer for all the crimes that they've been doing on this side of Christ. And then on the other side of Christ, of course, they're going to have their day in court.
Right.
They're going to have their day. And we ain't holding back no evidence and all the truth going to come out and they will pay dearly. Dearly, and maybe their families too, and all the cripsy white people that walk around the earth blind. And that's why they hate critical race theory, because critical race theory may just bring out the dirt and the evils that their forefathers have done. And these little modern day white children, you understand, and the kids that coming up in America nowadays, they're actually a little bit smarter and a little less barbaric. Not saying that barbarism ain't in them, because they still murderers and they still the devil at heart. But they've been raised in such a good atmosphere because of the murder of their forefathers that they're not physically and currently as barbarous as their forefathers. And they'll say things that their forefathers know you're not supposed to say. They'll say America was wrong. They'll say, wait a minute, black people need real reparations and answers. Wait a minute, the police that did that to them, they should go to prison. They'll say things like that. And their forefathers and the leaders of this country know that if they allow their children to make those kind of new modern day changes, that it will destroy America, because America still runs on murder and lies and terrorism. You understand? But of course, the children don't understand that. Read that scripture real quick.
This is the book of Jeremiah, the 16th and verse 19. O Lord, my strength and my fortress.
And that's my next story, Sawab. Salaki to interrupt you, Ibab. My next story is going into that about the brothers that went to prison for Malcolm X's murder. That's the next story. Go ahead, Ibab. Read it again.
This book of Jeremiah, 16 and verse 19. O Lord, my strength and my fortress and my refuge in the day of affliction.
So the Lord, what scripture is this again?
Jeremiah, the 16th and verse 19.
So Jeremiah prayed to the Lord and let the Lord know, Lord, you are my strength and my fortress. Go ahead, like we all do in the ISUPK. We understand that. And he is, till this day, our strength and our fortress. Go ahead.
The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth.
Right.
And shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies.
And these Gentiles, once again, is the same as these heathens I talked about earlier. Gentile and heathen is the same word, and they both are non-Israelites. Any people, race, or nation that's not an Israelite, that's a Gentile, that's a heathen. And they say they're going to come from all walks of life, and they're going to say, what, Ibad?
Surely our fathers have inherited lies.
Our fathers have inherited lies, meaning the good Pripsy America that they've been taught by their parents and their parents' parents, they're going to understand that they didn't been taught lies from their fathers. Their fathers were taught these lies, and they were taught these lies because their ancestors created these lies to cover up all the murder and the barbarism and the torture and the lies and all the horrible things that they did to get and keep America and to have America run and be successful. It takes a lot of evil, a lot of murder and lies for America to run successfully. And the forefathers that committed all those things, they had to teach their grandchildren, listen, this is a great place. This is the land of freedom. This is the land of this and that. There's a wonderful land. And then that was taught to their children and taught to their children and taught to the children of America that we walk with today. And they're realizing through critical race theory, through the truth coming out, the prophets and the ISUPK speaking on the streets, is don't you know white people, just a lot of white people just admitted that they were just learning about Tulsa, Oklahoma and the war on Black Wall Street. They just heard that a couple years ago. There were white people in the news saying, I've never heard this. Why? Why haven't I known about this history? I've never heard about Black Wall Street or Tulsa. They've never heard about it. Why? Because they've inherited the lies and the cover-ups that their fathers were taught, man. This is America. This is America. There's white people that don't know the villainy of their grandfathers not so long ago. So when they hear the complaints of black people, it's just like, that can't be true. Not in America. Not in America. Salaki, is it more in that scripture?
A little bit, sir.
Go ahead.
Surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit.
Right. They've learned these things. And what does it mean, no profit? There's a temporary profit because America can look like the greatest place on earth. Everybody want to come here. You understand? But when they come here, these other nations, these other heathens, when they come here, they learn one important lesson that this government tells them. You understand? That these blacks, these Hispanics, these natives, you understand? They are not, you do not make them equal with you. Certain things, it's a certain way you can't deal with them. There's a certain way you can't allow them this. You can't allow them to have this information. You can't allow them to be free in this way. You can start stores in their neighborhoods. You can do this. You can get their money. They got a whole system mapped out when these heathens come over here. You understand? They got a whole system for them to further oppress us and create stores and businesses all around us and get our money and all that, but never do certain things that will uplift us or make us equal in this place so we can come up. Was you going to say something, Yediah?
Oh, lie, sir.
Okay, no sweat. But never are they to do certain things to allow us to come up as a people, because if listen, they ain't got to give us a goddamn thing. All they got to do is stop murdering and oppressing us.
Right.
If they simply stop murdering and oppressing us, we'll be Black Wall Street everywhere. If the police stop harassing and murdering us and arresting us falsely and predatorizing and racial profiling us, if they just stop doing what they're doing against us, we'll flourish just by nature, by our spirit. You can't stop the children of God if you leave them alone. Or they'll be once like we used to have, where black bus companies will be in different cities, man. We'll have our own bus system. We'll have our own police in the neighborhood. We'll be safer. Those police will actually protect the community, man. You understand? And white people realized that a long, long time ago, that if they leave us alone, that we'll prosper and take over this place. They realized that. Black Wall Street, a prime example, Tulsa, Oklahoma. While they were coming back from the war and a depression, because the economy was bad, they heard about these Negroes in suits with nice cars and movie theaters and hospitals and airports and all that there, and a wonderful little black community, and they could not stand it. And they knew once they destroyed that, once they found their excuse with some white woman lying, just like Emmett Till, once they found that excuse, they burned and murdered and burned down all those businesses in Tulsa, Oklahoma, man. And then they realized we can't just leave black people alone, or there'll be a Black Wall Street every goddamn where. And we went, and hell, they'll have an army. They'll have an army strong enough and united enough to go against us. So they knew that they had to attack us and pressure us and send the police in our communities to oppress us, to terrorize us, to murder us. You understand? They knew they had to do that, because if they leave us alone, we'll take over. White people understood that, and that's what we've been living, man. That's what we've been living.
Right.
Was that it on that?
Come.
Okay, let's go to the next story about the New York City.
Khan. Sharing it, sir. That's all I'm doing. Sharing it.
No sweat.
Okay.
There's a story about what the brother just brought out a second ago about the men that were arrested for murdering Malcolm X. You understand? Now, we in no way support Islam at all, in no kind of way. You understand? But what happened to Malcolm X, because America wanted to go a different route. Malcolm X, he was leading our people falsely to Islam, which was wrong. You understand? He was serving our people up to the false god Allah, which was wrong. You understand? But he was a little too radical for how white people felt he was too radical. You understand? And they wanted to go a more Martin Luther King route. You understand? Which was peace and love, and kiss the ass crack of a white man and let him spit in your face and let him punch you in the face so you could eat his eggs that he cooks. You understand? And sit in his restaurant. They wanted to go that route. So they had to, they wanted, it was better for America that Malcolm X went away. But let's read this story. Go ahead.
New York City awards 2 men wrongfully convicted for killing Malcolm X $26 million in settlement.
So the two brothers that famously got arrested for murdering Malcolm X, they were rewarded a $26 million settlement. Go ahead.
2 men who spent 2 decades behind bars for the assassination of civil rights leader Malcolm X will be awarded $26 million in a settlement from New York City. Muhammad A. Aziz and Khalil Islam spent.
So two brothers that named themselves after Islam, which was real popular in the black community. I remember coming up when I first started having kids. I was in that same mindset. Name your child something that sounds Islamic. It was made up names and everything. You take the mother's name, mix it with the father's name, and put a little Islam on it, and you come up with some name, Mike Wanik or some crap like that. You know what I'm saying? Some old made up name. That was still going on when I was coming up. You understand? So these brothers changed their names into Muslim sounding names, which was real big at that time. Go ahead.
Spent more than 20 years in prison for killing the black leader.
Okay,
However,
go ahead. 20 years for killing Malcolm X. Go ahead.
However, their convictions were reversed after Manhattan District Attorney Cyrus R. Vance Jr. found the evidence that could have freed the men was withheld as part of a cover-up by law enforcement.
Hear that close. Hear that close. Their convictions were reversed after the New York District Attorney, right? He found evidence that could have freed the men was withheld, meaning the evidence that would have shown their innocence and they would not have went to jail was not missed, but it was actually held back. It was covered up. It was withheld as part what?
As part of a cover-up.
As part of a cover-up. Go ahead.
By law enforcement agencies.
By the police. By law enforcement agencies. Go ahead.
Including the FBI.
Including the FBI. So the proof that would have stopped these men from going to prison, the proof that would have showed they did not kill Malcolm X, the police didn't want this proof to get out. The FBI didn't want this proof to get out. Go ahead.
Both men were released on parole in the 1980s.
So in the 1980s, they were released in parole. But what does that leave? That leaves a whole void. Number one, who really killed Malcolm X? He's out there, right?
Right.
What about that? Finding out who really killed him. And why did the police and the FBI cover it up? Because usually in law enforcement, when they cover up things, is because the people that's to blame were hired by them in most cases. They hired the people to murder Malcolm X. The FBI, the police, they were all in it together. You understand? Now, Islam is horrible, and Malcolm X, of course, the Lord was not with him, so these things were able to happen to him. You understand? But look at your American government, man. Look at your American FBI and your police force. Malcolm X is but one black leader that might have been too radical for this government or too outside the lines of how they wanted things to go. And they actually put them to death and then covered it up and accused the wrong people. And of course, way down the line, when the truth comes out, all they're talking about is compensating this man who went to jail for all these years. But the conversation is not, let's get these FBI agents and these police officers that help cover it up. Let's go back and get them. We don't care how old they are. Let's go back and get them and put them in the goddamn prison for 40 goddamn years. That ain't the conversation when it should be. Read. Both men what?
Both men.
Anytime y'all want to say something, you know, y'all could just interject. Go ahead.
Both men were released on parole in the 1980s. But Islam died in 2009.
Now this brother, he died in 2009, man. He died, you know, not even, you know, with the thought that, you know, people, all the world thinks he murdered Malcolm X. With no justice, he died. You understand? Read.
The multi-million-dollar award will be split between Aziz, 84 years old, and Islam Estate.
So his family gets the money. Go ahead.
It's tragic that Islam died never knowing that his name would be cleared, said attorney David Shanies. So, given the importance of the case and the immense length of time that this wrongful conviction lingered, it was important for the government to act quickly to do what was within its power to make it right.
Right, and it still ain't made right. That money, it's going to hush some people. It's going to make the family better. They think, you know, America think they can buy the world, man. They think our lives are worth a few $1 million. You understand? That's what they think our lives is worth. But that ain't enough, man. That ain't enough. They should get that money. They should be set for life. If they run out of that money, they should be given more money. They should be given businesses. They should be getting, listen, their lives should be wonderful because a family member was taken wrongly and covered up by the FBI and the police. But on top of that, it's only justice if them people who caused this pay for it. It's only justice if that FBI and the police enforcement that who withheld all that evidence and covered things up, if they are brought to justice and go to prison for a very long time. That's the only way the justice can be whole. The money is just a part of it, man.
Right.
That's just a part of it, a small part of it at that. Read.
Attorneys for the men say the settlement reflects the scope of misconduct by both the NYPD and the FBI officials involved in the case. There's no amount of money that could ever correct what was robbed from Muhammad and Khalil.
There you go. That's all. That's all I want on that, man. Give me Amos, give me Amos 9 and 8. Amos 9 and 8. Because what this shows is further proof that this is a corrupt ass government we living under, man.
Right.
And all you Christians and all you people like Charles Barkley, you Uncle Ruckus Coons. You Uncle Ruckus Coons, you sell out house niggas who love this place and want to support this place because of this man's money and his prestige and your fame. You niggas are going to pay, man.
Right.
You are going to pay because you are traitors to your people and you walk hand in hand with the devil himself. America is ran by Satan, man.
Right.
And the white people that are under Satan are in the Bible. Christ called them the devil, man. They are the devil, the deceivers of this earth. And you blacks and Hispanics who support them and walk hand in hand with them, you are walking with the devil, man. You are walking with the devil, and you got a day coming too if you don't stop before it's too late. We still in that grace period. Our king ain't got back yet, but the likes of Charles Barkley and Candace Owens and Negroes like you, man, who trade your people for these people who oppress us, you got a horrible day coming if you don't stop in time, man.
Right.
If you don't stop before it's too late, you got a horrible day coming, man. Read.
This is the book of Amos, the 9 verse 8.
Go ahead.
Yo, the eyes of the Lord God are upon the sinful kingdom.
And the black God, the God of Israel, he sees everything that's happening, man. He see Charles Barkley and his cooning. He see what y'all doing to Kyrie. He see how you coming to Kanye when he bring out the truth. He see when you come at Nick Cannon for bringing out pieces of the truth. He see what you're doing to the prophets of God. He see all the cover up with black leaders and innocent people. He see when you murder our sisters in their bed and murder our brothers unarmed. God sees it all, man. He sees it all. And he sees how evil this kingdom is. Read it again. The eyes of the Lord, what?
The eyes of the Lord God are upon the sinful kingdom.
Let God call it a sinful kingdom. Did white people get the laws of God? Hell no.
Right.
The Lord never told them, don't be a homo, like he told us. The Lord never told them, don't murder, don't covet what's your brothers, don't lie to your brothers. The Lord never told them to not eat pork, shrimp, crab, lobster. The Lord never told them don't celebrate all these other holidays, only the holidays I give you. He never gave them these laws, but that don't mean he likes when they do it. That don't mean, listen, if a white man is a homosexual, the Lord still hates homosexuality.
Right.
Even though he didn't tell them not to do it, he still thinks they are disgusting and an abomination.
Right.
You understand? He still thinks that. So this kingdom, although the Lord never told this kingdom to follow his laws, God still looks at it like a sinful kingdom, man.
Right.
This is still a disgusting place in the eyes of God. In the eyes of God, America is very disgusting and vile and yuck. You understand? Yuck.
If I may, sir.
Go ahead.
If I may say, what you're saying is just so heavy is that's why the oppressor is known as the man of sin. We know we're the only ones that can sin, but everything evil and wicked that represent what we're not supposed to do is bottled up in the oppressor. That's why when you read in 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter and the 3rd voice, let that man of sin be revealed. That man of sin has been revealed, man. It's the oppressor. You know what I mean? That runs America. Go ahead, sir. That's all I wanted to say.
Good point. And listen, I'm going to hit the world to this, Yediah. The laws we got from the Lord is because he was so disgusted at what the heathens were doing.
Right.
He saw what the heathens were doing naturally in their nasty asses, that he created laws for us not to be like them.
Right.
To do things separate from them. And being separate is being what, Israel? Holy.
Right.
Holy. That's what makes you holy. Being separate from these disgusting ass heathens, man. And he knew the heathens were doing, he knew what they were doing on the earth. And he said, nah, Israel, y'all are not to worship any other God but me. Why? Because the heathens were worshiping all type of gods.
Right.
He said a man ain't supposed to lie with mankind like he lied with a woman. Why? Because the heathens were having sex with each other, animals, kids, everybody. Having sex with their flowers and plants, trees and bushes, every goddamn thing. Whatever insect or animal was big enough with a hole in it, they'd put their penis in it. And he told us not to do those things, man. Because
Right.
he was disgusted at how the heathens were living. That's what makes us holy. That's what makes us holy. You right, Facebook user, holy. That's what being separate is. And our laws separate us from these things that the heathens were doing, man.
Right.
So that's how this kingdom is still looked at like a sinful kingdom. Read it again.
Behold, the eyes of the Lord God are upon the sinful kingdom,
Go ahead.
and I will destroy it from
What
off
is
the
God
face-
going to destroy? He's going to destroy the sinful kingdom.
Right.
That's what he's going to destroy. So America got their day coming, man. It's written already.
Right.
And if it's written in this book, it ain't no lie. It's going to happen. America has its day coming, man.
Right.
God is going to destroy this place because of how sinful and disgusting it is, because of how they have dealt the hand that they've dealt to the 12 tribes of Israel, how they've treated black people in America, how they've treated the Hispanic and Latinos in America, how they've treated our Gadite Native Indian brothers in America, man. They've done horrible things and are doing horrible things to us. God sees it all, man.
Right.
And God is going to destroy this place because of it. He shall destroy it. Go ahead. God said, I will destroy it. Read.
From off the face of the earth.
From where?
Off the face of the earth.
That ain't God saying that the earth going to be destroyed. The earth's still here. If you read it and understand it, right? He's going to destroy the sinful kingdom off of the face of the earth. The earth's still going to be here. Because that's where we're going to rule our kingdom at. The kingdom of heaven going to be right here on the earth. That's in the Bible. So the earth ain't going nowhere because we got streets of gold to be built. We got gates high made of diamonds and crystal with the names of the 12 tribes of Israel. Those gates got to be built, man.
Right.
All the mansions that Yediah and Ibad and Sawap Ya'ala and all the brothers, man, in the UPK, all those mansions got to be built, man.
Right.
We about to live a good life, man. Our best life. We about to live it right here on the earth. So the earth ain't going nowhere, but God is going to destroy this sinful kingdom off of this earth for sure.
Right.
That's money in the bank. Read on.
Saving that I will not utterly.
Saving, old Quaker English, meaning except. Like there's one piece that I won't destroy. I'm going to destroy the sinful kingdom, but saving, I will not what?
Not utterly.
Now y'all got to remember that. Utterly. Utterly means completely. He says, saving, I will not utterly, go ahead.
Destroy the house of Jacob.
Now, saith the Lord. Now, the house of Jacob, the Lord said, I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob. I will not completely destroy the house of Jacob. That ain't saying he ain't going to destroy none of the house of Jacob. Some of the house of Jacob might have a bad one, Charles Barkley,
right,
Candace Owens, and name a few. It's a few more of them coons out there. I don't know them all, but they're out there. It's something that we don't even know about. That old sheriff, that old nigga sheriff, that was always on Fox News and CNN News. Everything that happened black, he was against black people, man. I forget his name.
Right.
Somebody stopped him on the plane one flight and said, hey, ain't you Sheriff so-and-so? I forget his name. He wear a hat, a cowboy hat all the damn time, sheriff's hat. They say, ain't you so-and-so? This nigga panicked on the plane, Yediah, and sent the email to make sure there was a whole police force waiting when his plane landed because he was so scared somebody recognized this coon ass. So when he got off the plane, they stopped the person that asked him, said, ain't you so-and-so, and recognized. They stopped him. Of course, he didn't do nothing wrong, so they had to let him go. But he was shook because somebody recognized his coon ass. You understand?
Right.
Scared to death. So a lot of our people like that, they're going to get dealt with. The Most High got got a reward waiting for them too. The righteous going to get a reward, and you evil neckers going to get a reward too, man. You got a reward coming too. The Lord said, I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob. Go ahead.
Saith the Lord.
Uh-huh.
Now, for lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Israel among the nations.
Uh-huh.
Like as corn is sifted in a seed.
So the Lord going to shake up the house of Israel, and he going to pull out all the ones that he find worthy, all the ones that he want to have mercy on. But it's going to be some that's left. Some ain't going to be no good. But that's up to the Most High to decide. That ain't up for us. The ISUPK, we pray for the entire nation that the Lord have mercy. Because listen, on the other side, if you foul, we're going to get you right any goddamn way.
Right.
But it's up to the Most High whether you survive or not. Read.
Yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth.
Uh-huh. Where you at?
Verse 10.
Okay, I got you. So that's it. The Lord, he going to command this. He going to command this, man. And he going to sift the house of Israel. He's sifting us now. He bringing a lot of brothers. And listen, it's beautiful, you die. Oh, man, in Houston, with all the tribes coming through, man, in all the cities. Right. The tribes is coming through. Issachar coming in strong. I mean, we had a whole Issacharite band. For those of you who don't know, that's a Mexican band. We had a whole Mexican band playing in Houston this weekend, man. Right. And then after that, we had a Judite band. You understand? Right. They was doing it up, man, because the tribes is coming in, man, and they loving it, man. It's a beautiful thing to sit down with a Mexican and counsel him and hear his story and what he going through, man. And guess what? It ain't no different from what niggas going through.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We look at them, they didn't pit us against the tribes, Puerto Ricans and Mexicans and the Guatemalans and the Dominicans. They didn't pit us against them like they're a whole separate people, man. But when we come together in this truth and we sit down and go over our problems and try to fix our problems together, you realize we all go through the same problems, man. We all under the same curse in America, man. And through the ISUPK, we begin to come out of that curse and begin to get the understanding on why we in this curse. And then we can handle it better and do things to get this curse lifted, man. Wow. You understand? Oh, I mean, I done lived a beautiful life in America, especially since I met Commander General Yohana and been in this truth. What, 20 to 30 years so far? I ain't had to beg no white man for time off. I ain't had to, and when I had a slavery under the white man, I knew how to handle him to where he was telling me. The Edomites I used to work with would always tell me, I'm so impressed. They see me reading and studying in my posts of different places where I was, or in how I talked and what I said and how I understood their humor. You know, Esau got a whole different humor, which niggas from the ghetto they don't understand. You know what I'm saying? And when they're around these Edomites and hear these Edomites talk, an average Negro from the ghetto feel out of place. You understand? But through the teachings and the tutelage of Commander General Yohana and knowing these scriptures and understanding our enemies, I hear them conversations and I could blend in with any of them. And they damn near impressed at the humor that I have with their humor. You understand? And I take my shots within their humor. They're still professional. I take professional shots at them sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Now I don't go too far, you understand? But I know how to handle these devils, you understand? And they see and they look at me and they know that the men in the ISUPK, we a different type of Negro, you understand? Because even though we can flow in their crowds and talk to them and handle them real professional, we also come down to the grime and in the mud and we can relate and communicate with our people in their kind of way also, man. That's the job of a prophet, you understand? That's the job of a man of God, and you only find them in the ISUPK. We over the time. Did you want to bring something else out, Priest and Officer Yediah?
Oh, la, sir. That was it, sir.
Priest and Officer Ibad?
La, sir.
Hey, I want to thank everybody for tuning in, man. Brothers and sisters, I appreciate it. Yeah, we're gonna end this episode of Ask She the Prophets, and I'll see y'all next week. Once again, send in all your questions, all your thoughts, anything on your mind, any questions that your family gave to you that might have stumped you or may not have stumped you, but you wanted to elaborate on it more. Send all those things, the dreams, the visions you want understanding on from your family, your friends, anything that's on your mind that'll give you a better clarity in life. Just send it to Ask She the Prophets at gmail.com or the Ask She the Prophets page on Facebook. You can send it in, type in your question to any of the shows, or you could ask them in class. Any ISUPK class, you'll get your answers, man. So with that, I'm going to say shalom to y'all. Shalom, Ibad. Shalom, Yedaya. Yabashim Shabakathum. Shalom, brothers tuning in. Yabashim Shabakathum. Shalom, sisters. I love you. The water. Yahweh Shema Allah Thun by Hashem Yahweh Shah. The water for supporting these prophet sisters. You are the best sisters and daughters that any father and brother could have. And our sisters are just better than everybody's sisters. And that's a fact. And that's a fact. And like Ty War said, I choose one brother in the ISUPK over 1,000 of these punk ass Israelite groups, brothers, man. For sure, because you just better, you stronger, you more wise, and you more honest and more righteous, man. With that, I'll see y'all next week. Shalom. Sure. Bear with me. Clap it up. Most High in Christ. Boom. Oh man, it's lucky. Get it.
Shut down YC. ISUPK. The home of the truth, nigga. Started out in one West, nigga. ISUPK. The home of the truth, nigga. Started out in one West, nigga. Year 2007 has gone. A leader was born. The name of Commander General Yohana year is on. New 7 has born. I took my oath, nigga, I swore to ISUPK. It's the only fucking way. One West to the death until they bury me. Hennessy, Alizé, big bottle of scotch. 125 the block, and where we set up shop. I catch a body at camp, you front onto Zaria. So hold your peace. When he speak, when he teach, before I reach for that peace and clear that street, I was never humble, always a beast. I let it fly for the Most High, Yahweh Shai, El Cool J, homie. I'm that type of guy, and for the heathen, I'm the only one standing. If it's you and ISUPK. The home of the truth, nigga. Started out in one West, nigga. ISUPK. The home of the truth, nigga. Started out in one West, nigga. ISUPK. The home of the truth, nigga. Started out in one West, nigga. Yahweh Ben Hashem, Yahweh Shah Baraka. Yo, man. Yo, get back to that 1969 ISUPK shit, man. I want to hear that 1969 ISUPK. We the children of God, Yasha Allah, and we only pray to Almighty Yahweh and do the commandments like His Son Yahweh Shai. Don't think we soft, nigga. Yeah, you could die. We not Christian. We don't believe all of everybody. If it ain't about the 12 tribe, fuck everybody. And that's a statement. You need to stop hating. You can't prove we Africans, so stop debating. I was stuck in a hard place, a hard time behind a rock, thinking I was Muslim. So I seen the ISUPK, big homie to Zaria, battling Imam Bashir. I bet Bashir is a woman, that's the secret of the year. Your philosophies can't clap back. Africa don't mean you black. Tell Sinetta that. Tell Polite to cross the fucking line and fall the fuck back. You hear me, nigga? I'm with some real niggas at the Passover, nigga, drinking liquor. ISUPK. What?